Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel. If you get something out of the content that I put up here, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe and give me a like on these videos. It can make a real difference in the algorithms and how they share content with other channels. Also, if you're interested in some one-on-one Skype sessions, you'll find a good email on me in the description of every video I put up. Two-octave arpeggios. This is the answer to, I think, a question that I get a lot of the time asking about fretboard movement and being able to get from one position on the neck to the other. Well, being able to outline chords certainly is justified to say the most important thing that we ever learn. So I'm going to demonstrate this if we play Bill Monroe's chop chord shape for C. How we can immediately turn that into a C major arpeggio. We've talked about that many times here on the channel. Now, if I were to build a shift into that, I'm going to move my index finger up to the 3rd fret and play that C note with it instead of my middle finger, and that's going to put me in a position to play here. A higher arpeggio, 1 octave up. So look what's happening. Your ring finger is over the root note. Then your index finger ends up over it. So when I play over those two shapes, it connects the fretboard, and I'm going to use chromaticism. Other color notes, I'm playing a flat 7. There I played the 4th scale degree. It's not limited to those notes. This is just a real point of reference, but that movement that people ask about, it isn't just these two. Those 2 octaves. Watch, now I'm going to flip-flop that whole thing and reverse the shapes on the neck. If I place my index finger here, there's that same root note of C, but instead of ring finger over that note, now it's index. So this shape on the fretboard could be played here. And then when I get to this C note, here's the same chop chord shape that I had in 1st position. Now it's on the bottom 3 pairs of strings. So now I have those 2 octaves. Same exact notes. A different fingering and a different neighborhood of the fretboard that they're in. So you need to have those shapes all down before you would expect when I'm moving around on the fretboard like that and still stating a same, you know, like a G7 was really what I was playing over, or a mixolydian, or I'm sorry, C7 or mixolydian C with those B flat notes. It starts with knowing those fundamentals. You're not going to be able to build around those foundations unless you have them down. So I'm going to call these out to you guys, you know, so that we can wrap our fingers around this. Ring finger on the 5th fret of the G string, then index on the 2nd fret of the D. Now ring finger, 5th fret of the D, then our shift, index on the 3rd fret of the A string. There's our 1st octave. Then moving on, we would have the 7th fret of the A, 3rd fret of the E, up to the 8th fret of the E string. There's our 2 octaves. starting in first position and then shifting up on the index finger. Okay, now, same exact notes in a different location on the fretboard. 5th fret, G string. There's our root note of C. Now we're going to play that major 3rd note, the E, on the 9th fret of the G string. Then our 5th scale degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're parallel, we're tuned in 5ths. 5th fret of the D, and then up to the 10th fret of the D string. Same C note, different location on the fretboard. Now 7 on the A string, that's our major 3rd. 5th scale degree now is going to be the 10th fret on the A string. There's our G note. Then to this high C, landing on the same exact C note that we had started on or landed on from first position. So we have this we're going to be able to add all of that chromaticism, but we want to get the shapes down, and then we're going to have that sweeping motion playing over the fretboard. That I get questions about that a lot, and it really does stem from being able to outline those chords no matter where my hand would land on the neck. We could do this, I mean, right here. I know that that would be a high C. If we kept going on the fretboard. I don't play up here in this neighborhood of the fretboard often, but you should recognize that E note. That's the 3rd scale degree of C. We want to begin to have just as much of an awareness of that, like the root, 3rd, and 5th, because we're building around all of those points of reference. So try to start getting some of this down, and it's all movable. Everything that we're doing is closed position. So see if it doesn't help you move the needle on your play, and if you get these 2-octave arpeggios under your fingers.